Howdy folks, how are you? Comic Cowboy here. It's been a while since I produced a video, but it has not been a while since I purchased books. And in this video, I've got a surprise purchase I'm going to share with you and discuss a little bit why I went after it. That is not in the comics area. It is actually a graded sports card that I've been eyeing for some time. It is, I guess I would say, the single biggest grail in all of sports card collecting, outside of probably the Honus Wagner T206. Of course, you may know what the card is, and I'll show that to you. I just picked it up a few days ago off an auction on Golden, and it's in the vault where it will sit for a period of time, and we'll see how that investment does. In the interim, I know there's been a lot of ups and downs this year in Silver Age books, Bronze Age books, to a lesser extent Golden Age material, with some prices coming down a bit, correcting from 21 and 22, a little bit above 2020. So that has happened actually quite a bit across the boards, almost in all of collectibles. Whether you're talking about Magic the Gathering, certainly sports cards, modern sports cards, vintage video games, a few of these categories have been really heavily punished. And happily, comic books, which is a more mature category, has for the most part weathered that storm. Some categories have actually persisted and done better and have shown steady gains over the last 2-3 years. One of those is pre-code horror, a category that I love fondly. And I invest in, but I think it's more the interest in the category than the investment that got me involved in pre-code horror for a variety of reasons. Simply like the books. So in this video, I'm going to show you a few of those very recent purchases, what I picked up and why, and show you some cool covers. Sound good? Let's get into it, my friends. Leave a comment below on any topic or any reaction to this video. Do give a like and a subscribe to my channel. Thank you. PSA over. Here's a journey. Now, I got these recently off Heritage a bit back, I don't know, a couple months ago. They had a really spectacular sale, just a pre-code horror, and they had a lot of really rare material, and I took the opportunity to pick up some books. I love when I could pick up this material raw. I just think it's really fun, and you could read the book. They can get expensive, so you take a little bit of a risk buying raw material, certainly off eBay. But if you get off Heritage, the grading's really fair. If you get raw books off Comic Connect, the grading is really fair. In some cases, they may undergrade, and you get some upside if you go on to slab the material. Here's a Journey into Fear. What a cool cover. It's got the lady in the red dress, which is a theme, you know, women in particular colored dresses. A woman depicted on the cover in some sort of peril, a damsel in distress, is going to be a more coveted book than the absence of a lady on the cover. It's just so iconic for horror in the 1950s, whether they're talking about the cinema with Creature from the Black Lagoon, or The Blob, or the great Universal horror movies of the 1940s, going into the 50s with comics. Obviously, pop culture had a lot of similar themes and material and content. Haunted Thrills, this is great. Haunted Thrills here is a rare book. You don't see that often. Black Cat Mystery, you probably have seen this book. I was really delighted to get a copy of this. Fantastic cover with the zombies and the woman there, you know, walking like this. It's really awesome stuff. This is a rare book. Strange Mysteries 13 from 1953. How excellent is that? I mean, honestly, when I see this material and I can acquire it at a fair and reasonable price, gosh, I go after it, and you ought to as well if you collect this material. You just don't see this that often. And when you do, we're talking about census counts of the graded material, often less than 20 copies graded, or 15. Really rare material. Really fun. I got this looks like a very good to, you know, find minus type of territory. Here's another one I love. How cool is this? Paid a little bit more for the Strange Mysteries too. but it's absolutely fantastic. Isn't this just like the caviar of pre-code horror? Love those books. And then I got some slab material because that's how it was offered. And it was a chance to get some books that I don't commonly see. I didn't get in this heritage auction. I picked them up in some other places, all fairly recently. I do love standard comics. That material remains very coveted, very desirable. The depictions on the cover have a contemporary and modern feel. And this is no exception. An Unseen 10. There are a little bit of glare, apologies. A really cool depiction of a strange looking zombie, or mummy, I should say, over the sarcophagus of this guy. It looks like they're just trading places. This figure was in here, and the gentleman here fell on bad time. Some Uncanny Tales, great line. Almost the whole pre-code run is fantastic and worth picking up. Here's a nice one. Reasonable price, lower mid-grade. A Strange Tales 12 here and a 6.5. You can get this stuff in upper mid-grade. You're looking at really low census reports. Maybe 3 copies in higher condition total, 2, 3 in that kind of a neighborhood, which is amazing. Here's a good one. I love mummy covers or mummification. This is sort of an Invisible Man type flavor. It's Strange Tales 10 from 52. Atlas, we got the lady there. This is really cool stuff. And one more from Standard Comics, an Adventure into Darkness 6 from 1952. This is excellent. I love this stuff. The titling, that is so cool and contemporary. So hard to replicate and get that really evocative horror type of typography on the book. And the drawing, the execution is really great with this George Russo's cover. That's what I picked up in terms of books fairly recently, although I dabble occasionally in some Silver Age keys, depending on the book and what the price is and the grade. I always like an X-Men 1, an FF1, and all the kind of major keys from that era, because I think they're reasonably priced right now. So if you're going to go after a Hulk 1, a Jim 83, or maybe a Jim 85, I do think it is a decent time to put your foot in the water and take home a copy. Maybe it goes down a little bit more, but I think the upside is certainly there, and maybe it's the perfect moment to do so. So best of luck to you there. Here's the sports card that I picked up just recently. Yes, that iconic card. Usually I don't dabble in this level of a purchase in sports cards. I have eyed the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle card number 311, high in the set, rare, coveted, iconic sports figure in his second year in the big leagues. It's not his rookie. That was 51, the 51 Bowman, which is less coveted than this iconic card. This card, in my opinion, transcends the category. It is simply like the Jordan rookie. It is an iconic collectible, and it has a broad appeal outside of people that just collect sports cards. So I was eyeing this card for years, and all I've seen with the 52 Mantle since I started looking at the card and thinking I should pick it up is an increase in price. And you can't say that for most collectibles. Like this card went right through these down years of 2021 and 2022 and just kept increasing in price. It is just so beautiful of a card and a wonderful depiction of one of the most beloved sports athletes of all time, one of the greatest baseball players of all time, in the signature 52 card. And if you've looked at some of the prices that Mickey Mantle has realized for jerseys, game worn material, it is in the millions of dollars, that material. He has not slipped away from the public zeitgeist. He is still an athlete that is revered and hallowed. Speaking back to a simpler time, a better time, frankly, I think, in this country and in sports in the 1950s and the late 1940s, especially with the New York Yankees, is an evergreen asset. It was selling, I think, that this card in the PSA 2 condition about 3 years ago for about $17,000 to $18,000 out the door. In these lower grades, right? Unaltered, not miscut, a good representation of lower grade. Now, $48,000 to $52,000 in 3 years. Now, that doesn't mean the card in 4 years from now is going to be worth $75,000 or $100,000. We don't know. It could potentially lose a bit of value if the price was too high. That said, I feel great having this. It is just a cornerstone of my collection, and I am a comic book collector at heart. But I rather take that money and place it into this kind of an asset than to buy a mutual fund or an index fund or a basket of stock that is in a very volatile market that Uncle Sam's going to take 40% away the minute it's sold for short-term capital gains tax and is boring. And there are some, sorry, the computer's hollering because I'm working today with little notifications. There are some influencers, there are some people on YouTube that, are going to say, hey, with all this volatility going on collectibles, you're better in a mutual fund or index fund. Well, great. If I'm interested in that, I'm going to call Schwab or E-Trade and I'll get someone on the phone to handle that stuff. I don't need collectible people telling me to take my money and put into stocks and bonds. That there are institutional investors that are capable of doing that work. I know who they are. I could call them up or I could get online and do that. If you're going to invest in collectibles, if you're going to get involved in this material, your niche, and that's cool. Embrace that and celebrate that. That's what I say. Good luck to you. Good seeing you. Take care.